Hello again. This is Ron Means in Austin, Texas. Today's Saturday, December the 17th, 2016. Yesterday, our great president, Barack Hussein Obama, got on TV for his final speech to the nation, and I kept flicking the channel going back to watch Law and Order on USA, because I was like, okay, I get it, I got you. But I went on back and listened to it a little bit more, and every time I listened to it, I couldn't stand it much long because it was kind of funny. It was funny, and I got this brilliant idea this morning when I woke up. I wanted to talk about his speech, but everybody, all the pundits, that's all they're doing is talking about his speech. You got the people on CNN, that's the Clinton News Network, if you don't know what that means, and MSNBC and all of those other stations. They're talking about how great a speech it was, and you know, he was really a great president. But it's kind of funny, about a year ago, they were talking about he had the lowest approval rating of any president ever in the history of the United States. And all of a sudden, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread and ice cream. And I'm like, okay. But he's still in office. And so then she started talking about how great the nation, what a great shape the nation was in. I just had to lay off a bunch of people. Nation ain't in no great shape, okay? And if you believe the nation's in a great shape, and we're paying out all these taxes, I bet you we're paying out probably about 50% in taxes. I ain't just talking about the IRS. I'm talking about your state and your local governments, taxing authorities. The property taxes, the school taxes, the street and bridge taxes. Every time we buy a license plate, we got to pay. That's a tax, believe it or not, that's a tax. And they're taxing us to death. The county commissioners court, they got a surplus of money, and they trying to figure out how to throw it away, instead of trying to figure out a way to not charge us so much money so that we can breathe, so we can afford to go on a vacation or to save some money for our child's college education or whatever it is we want to save our money for. We want to go sit up on top of Mount Bonnell and throw the money off the bridge. That ought to be our prerogative if it's our money. But I don't really like the idea of the government just taxing me to death and then telling me how great they are. You know, I mean, it's messed up. This is messed up. It's all messed up, okay? So he's talking about how good the economy is and how much better it is since he came into office after Bush. And those Bush tax cuts, it wasn't that much money, but it was a lot compared to what we were getting prior to Bush. And so I'm like, okay. Well, we got Obamacare. Let's see, my daughter's taxes, her Obamacare jumped up from $100 the first year to $350 this year. And then I went into it and found a different plan, and it's $267. Okay, which is still over 100% increase, almost 150% increase than what it was initially. And she's only been with Obamacare for 3 years. This is ridiculous, okay? You start figuring it up, you're getting taxed for this, you're getting taxed for that. What are we getting for it? Well, we got freedom. Well, we was free to start with. Oh, okay, well, we got the United States Air Force and Marines and the Army, and they're protecting us. Yes, they are. But they're also overseas protecting a whole bunch of other people who haven't paid any taxes. Oh, wait a minute. Let's not forget the people that are over here in America that aren't paying any taxes either. There are a lot of people that don't pay taxes. And I'm not just talking about foreigners who come over here to America that are living on the welfare rolls and getting the MAP cards for the medical stuff or getting welfare, all this. I'm not just talking about those people. I'm talking about American citizens that take advantage of that too. I've never been able to do that. When I was poor, really poor, when I went to work up in Dallas as a law enforcement officer, when I first went up there, I was so poor I had to sleep in my car, but I had a car. And I went to try to get some assistance. And they wouldn't give me any assistance because they said my parents made too much money. My parents are school teachers. They didn't make too much money. They had nothing. It's just amazing how people will put you in a box to define you, and you're struggling trying to live and trying to make it, and you can't. You can't make it. You just can't get ahead. This is the reason why so many people, and I'm not talking about black people, I'm just talking about people, how so many people wind up going the wrong way, making the wrong decisions, getting involved in the wrong kinds of things, trying to make some money. And then their life is basically over when they get caught doing the wrong things. That's what happens. And why are they doing the wrong things? Because there are no jobs. Because there are no good jobs. Oh, you're going to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. I want $50 an hour. I'm not going to lie to you. I got a lot of bills. I got a lot of people I'm taking care of. $15 an hour, that's not very much money. And you start looking at having to pay mortgages and car payments and insurance and health insurance, and you got to pay this, you got to pay that. You're below the poverty level, no matter who you are. And they talk about middle class America and middle class this and what is it? They never say anything about lower class. So do you ever notice that? They talk about the rich, the top 1%. This is Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is in the top 1%. Anybody can sit up there and holler about what's happening in the top 1% without showing you he owns 3 houses. And they mansions, every one of them. Okay? These people are wealthy. And they act like they're representing us. They're not representing me, okay? Now, Donald Trump is wealthy too. He's wealthy too. But I'm not mad at you because you're wealthy, because the American dream says I can get out there, work hard, be who I want to be, save my money, throw my money away, whatever it is, I want to do it. It's up to me to do it. And we should all have the same opportunity to do that. But we don't. Because somebody will tell one of us, you can do this, but you can't do that. Well, why can't I do that? Well, you're not qualified. Well, I'll never be qualified if I can't do it. How will I ever be qualified? So you would tell someone they're not qualified? That's messed up. So today, no, that's another subject. Today, I want to give out these participation trophies, certificates. And this is President Barack Hussein Obama's participation trophy. And I'm going to give this to him, and we're going to scan it later so y'all can see it, because you know I can't see, but I had it made up. So we got our president's participation trophy, and it's because he participated, because he was one of the surrogates that went out there on the campaign trail for Mrs. Clinton to try to help her become the first female president, yada, yada, yada. You know, and she tried real hard, and you got to give her credit for trying real hard, but she fell short. Just like my friend that ran for district attorney and got beat twice by 2 women. He fell short too. And this is his wife, Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama. And she worked hard for Mrs. Clinton as well. Then we have Mrs. Clinton. You got Hillary Diane, that's my wife's first name, Hillary Diane Rodham Clinton. This is her participation trophy. And that's for conceding the race ingenuously. Because she really didn't mean to concede. She's going through all these machinations, trying her best to undo her concession speech. This is John David Podesta, Podesta. Mr. Podesta is her campaign manager. And if it wasn't for him writing all those crazy emails he sent out talking about the Muslims and the Jews and the dumb black people and all, I don't think very many people have read those emails from WikiLeaks, but I read some of them. And they're really devastating and damning, those emails. And people really need to read those. So you know, when you say you backing somebody and you see what they're really saying about you, I don't think you're going to be for them anymore. So he's getting one too. And last but not least, we have Mr. Van Jones, a brother, okay? And I'm giving him a participation trophy for being a house brother, a good, loyal house brother to Mrs. Clinton. Because everything he said, when he's a CNN, Clinton News Network contributor. Every time he gets up there, he's 100% behind them. No matter how devastating or whatever she did or didn't do, he's always got a reason why it's okay. And tries to twist it and turn it. Now, it has been said that Mr. Van Jones, I don't know how you get Van out of Anthony Coppell or Capel Jones. There's no Van in there, so that's his nickname. I don't know. Did he used to sleep in the van? I don't know why he got his nickname. Nobody told me. Can't find out. But he's got all these celebrities to go try to get the people, the Electoral College people, to vote a different way than they're supposed to. And they've pledged and taken an oath to do. Those people wind up going to jail if they do that. Does he not know that? So you got all these celebrities and all these people out talking about, oh, you should vote your conscience, you should do that. Shoot, if I got to vote my conscience, all you people have to go live over in Afghanistan. All 5 of you people. Y'all have to go. Because my conscience tells me I'm an American. This is our election. I wasn't for Jimmy Carter, but he was my president. I wasn't for Ronald Reagan, but he was my president. I was for Bill Clinton, and he was my president. And I was for George W. Bush. Well, first George H.W. Bush, I was for him. And I was for George W. Bush, and he was my president. And I was for Barack Obama the first time. Actually, both times. But that's because I couldn't stand Sarah Palin the first time, and something about Mitt Romney, I just didn't sit right with me. If they'd have been really good candidates, I wouldn't have been for Obama, except that he looked like he was a brother. That would have been about the only reason that I would have been for him, and that's not reason enough for me to be for somebody. So I have to look at the candidates, and decide who's the best one. What's the best of these 2 bad apples? Which one of these bad apples is more rotten than the other one if I have to eat? And I have to eat, because if I don't eat, I die. So I have to choose. And so that's how I decide. I don't know how people decide. They all just go into the election booth and just stamp the same thing over and over, expecting to get a different result. I'm not one of those kind of people. But in these instances, that's why I voted for those people. Now, you start looking at this election process. You got Hillary Clinton. She's a flawed candidate. She's got all these negatives, lots of negatives. And then you got Donald Trump. He really didn't have any negatives. They made all the negatives they had on him that were made up, contrived negatives. He's never been in public office. You can't hold some hidden mic conversation against the brother because it's a hidden mic conversation. And we all have those kind of conversations without hidden mics. And we'd have to really be big time hypocrites, fools, not to realize that we're people and that's what people do. So at any rate, when I put Hillary Clinton next to Donald Trump, I'm taking Donald Trump every time. I don't know what either one of them going to do. But we got to wait and see. Just like this Travis County District Attorney race. My friend that I helped, acquaintance, whatever he was, that I helped and gave money to, he lost. And some other lady got in, and he's telling me that she's not really a Democrat, she's really a Republican. And you can tell by the people that she's putting in place, she's putting a bunch of Republican people in there to run her office. I just have to see what the pudding tastes like when it's over with. It's done. Everyone's voted. We can't go back and vote with this new information. That new information should have been out there for me to decide, for us to decide. And the same is true for this nonsense about Russia influenced the election and that FBI guy, he shouldn't have come out and said all of that, and he shouldn't have done this. He probably shouldn't have. But Hillary Clinton's husband shouldn't have got on the airplane with Loretta Lynch. And Loretta Lynch should have been a better attorney general. And maybe President Obama should have had a more transparent organization than he did. And they should have been truthful and quit lying to people. People ain't stupid. We're not stupid. So at the end of the day, you start looking at this calamity, which is what it was, and I'm giving these participation trophies because y'all did participate. And you're apparently very sore losers. You wanted the big trophy prize, but I can't give you a trophy prize, but I can give you this paper. You go hang it on your wall, frame it. Probably won't. Probably makes a good fireplace. It's going to get cold this winter. But I'm just saying, you know, where does all this crybaby stuff come from? You win, you lose. I've bid on contracts before and lost. I didn't go out and try to make the people that won the contract go out of business. I've got drivers that left my company last month before, probably about to leave some more. 80, 90, 100 drivers. That's a lot of income that left. My bills are the same. But at the end of the day, I wish them no harm. I wish them success. I just hope that they take care of their business. Because if they don't take care of their business will take care of them in a negative way. That's life. That's how it goes. That's his business. And maybe people who've never been in business before, they have this fantasy that, oh, I can do this better than you, and y'all are doing this, and y'all should do this, and y'all should do that. Well, you step into my shoes, come into my world, and find out all about the regulations and taxes, and the fact that you can't borrow money from banks because their interest rates are outrageous, and they want to see what everything looks like in your life, and you may not want to show them any of that. So you have to decide what's best for you. And most people, they're in a fantasy land. Oh, you got this and you got that. You can afford this, you can afford that. You don't know what I can afford. Get your hands out of my pocket. Okay? Keep my name out your mouth if you don't have no business in it. And don't pee on my bushes. It's my favorite, a couple of my favorite sayings. You know, don't try to steal my thunder. And that's basically it. So congratulations, President Obama. You had a good 8-year run. You weren't popular all 8 of the years. No, business is not good in America right now. And yes, the stock market is through the roof. And you all predicted it would crash as soon as Donald Trump won. Donald Trump won, and it's through the roof. It's the highest. Dow Jones and everything, NASDAQ is through the roof. People are actually making money. This is the first time they've been able to raise interest rates. Because they never raised them when you were in office. And you're in office and they just raised them. But it's not because of anything you did. But you're trying to take credit for it. And we already know what it is. It's the carrier deal. It's the Japanese dude pledging $50 billion. It's General Motors saying they're going to keep building cars in America. It's Ford saying they're going to keep building cars in America. They need to bring some of those jobs back from Mexico and Canada. General Motors, I got a General Motors car at home in my driveway. I got some Ford vehicles outside. They made in Mexico. They ain't made here. The transmissions are made one place, the engines are made somewhere, and the frame is done on some assembly line in Mexico. That's not right. And we got people here that want to work, and they starving, about to go out of business, lose their jobs, everything. They're not making enough money to pay their bills. Some of them working part-time jobs now because they've been put out of business. Because some greedy corporation people want to go out and make more money. I'm going to tell you one more thing before I hang up that makes me mad while I'm talking about this. I have a competitor. My competitor owns Yellow Cab in Austin. He also owns Yellow Cab in San Antonio and some other companies in San Antonio. He also owns another company outside of Austin called 1010 Taxi. He just bought it. And he owns a bunch of Yellow Cab franchises in Houston and Galveston. And he's rich, he's wealthy. He's making money hand over fist. He's involved in like probably 20 or 30 or 40 or maybe more businesses. And hey man, great for you, good for you. But let me tell you what he did. He went and built according to him, this is his words, he went and built a $10 million call center in the country of Colombia. And he took almost all of his dispatchers and phone operators from San Antonio, Houston, Houston, Austin, and Galveston. He put them out of business. And so now when you call his companies, you call talking to people in Colombia. And then you'll talk to one or two people here in Austin when they'll transfer the call to them. And it's seamless. You don't know where those people are. They got a map, they got a computer, they're sitting up there doing whatever. But look at the people that you took money out of there, and now they're on welfare probably. What's the difference between that and closing a factory and sending the job to Mexico or to Colombia? There's no difference. And this is bullcorn. Okay? The state, the cities, they have an economic development board. And most people don't know what I'm talking about. And they help businesses when they relocate to here. They give them tax breaks. Some cities will loan them money, and they call them forgivable loans. Yellow Cab, a company he acquired, got a forgivable loan from the city of Austin for a piece of property because they were providing jobs for the area. They were giving tax, helping the tax base. People would get a job, they would buy a house, they would be able to pay taxes, they would be able to do this, do that. And it's like the city is really employing the people, but only for a period of time. Well, that building been sold a long time ago, but it was a forgivable loan. That means they got to keep the money. Somebody along the way, maybe not this guy, but someone he bought and acquired the company from, got a big time tax advantage for doing that. And we don't know nothing about that. We think it's a great company. Oh, Dale is moving to Austin and blah, 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 blah. Okay? People are always cutting deals. And they're cutting deals because they're counting on our money to pay the essential bills. And then they're giving these people these deals. They're getting richer and richer and richer and richer, and we still poor. That's some nonsense. That's nonsense. You got this 3-4 years ago, City of Austin, Lee Leffenwell was the mayor. They had a surplus of money. More money was collected than they needed. And so instead of them saying, well, we're going to cut the price down or we're not going to do this, they just looking for ways to spend the money. And it's continue to charge you crazy amounts of money. And we just go along with it. We don't know. You think people are really paying attention to how much money is going out their pocket? They just know how much they have, how much they can afford to pay their bills. And it's like they're raping us. And it's crazy. So back to this election thing. I don't know if Donald Trump is going to be a good president or not, but I know that Hillary Clinton was a horrible candidate. She was shooting herself in the foot every which way but loose. It was all the time. And she conceded. And her surrogates, specifically Mr. Podesta and Mr. Jones, they need to go ahead and be humble. Get out there, figure out what they did wrong, own their mistakes, and next time when they run again, they'll have the respect of all the people, even the people that didn't vote for them. And maybe they'll win the next time. But at this rate they're going, they don't have a chance. They don't have a chance. And it's sad. In this day and age where everybody wants to be a winner, you know, Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last. That's wonderful. Now they come out with this political correctness stuff and passing out crayons and coloring books to people who are upset and giving them time off from doing their duty and whatever. Come on, stop that nonsense. And this participation trophy stuff is nonsense. What do you think?